Hey guys, it is day 2 at the 2019 ATA. Again, I'm Jacob with Southern Outdoorsmen. I'm here with Albert from Geargead Archery. We're talking about their Crossbow. This is a sweet bow. I'm excited to do a little shooting with it today and let Albert tell you a little bit more about this crossbow and specs on it.
Okay, this is our X16 tactical model. This bow is one of the only crossbows on the market that comes apart for travel. Comes in 2 pieces, comes with a case. Slide the bow together with a dovetail. Give it a little quick turn. The bow weighs 6.5 pounds on the aluminum version. Carbon version is 5.5 pounds. Comes in 3 draw weights, a 75, a 90, and a 125.
Talk about the cams with that. Talk about the draw length, because that was one thing I was impressed with.
It's got a 16.5-inch power stroke. And what we've done is we took the technology from our vertical bows and put it into the crossbow to where that the cams are a binary cam system. From rest till about here, you're stacking your weight to the draw weight of the bow. This is a 125-pound bow, so you're getting 125 pounds here. From there to here, you're holding that weight, and then from here back into the trigger housing is when you get your lead off. And because it's like a regular bow, you can draw the bow without having to use the cocking rope.
So now, with that being said, the cocking, not having to use a cocking device, it's like using a vertical bow when you're drawing it. And I've seen you do it. I haven't done it yet, but it looks extremely smooth. And the cams you were talking about, when you come back, like you were talking about earlier, if you have one hand or one arm a little bit stronger than the other, when you come back, it's going to level it back out, so you don't have to worry about having too much slack on one side.
Right.
Now, another thing I'd like for you to talk about is, first off, this doesn't shoot bolts.
No,
this shoots arrows. So I'd like for you to talk about that.
Yeah, it shoots just a standard arrow that you'd shoot out of a vertical bow. It's the same arrow. We're shooting the Black Eagle Outlaws. It takes a standard nock. This is a 19 thousandths standard arrow that you buy. You can shoot from a 17 thousandths to a 23 thousandths arrow out of this bow.
Well, I was going to say, of course, with this bow, with this crossbow, and being said, you're going to be shooting a stiffer arrow.
Yes.
Heavier the better, just because, like you said, for quiet. And again, when you're doing competitions and everything else with that being said, it's going to be something that is a very sweet shooting bow. And you talked about balance earlier, or we really talked about weight, but this is a super well balanced bow. This bow, the way it fits and feels in your hands, the standing shooting upright is phenomenal. I was blown away with that. And again, the way they all have this design when it comes to the 2 pieces, carryability is going to be nice, because you have a large size crossbow, but you can pack it in the case. Maybe you had a bigger backpack, something like that, if you're going on a longer hunt, and really stay mobile with this. One thing that really blew my mind was how you can tune this crossbow.
Right.
That's huge.
It's a tunable bow. You tune this crossbow just like you do a vertical bow with your up and down, your right to left, to where you're getting a perfect bullet hole. That way that you can shoot different size arrows out of this bow depending on what you want to go hunt. If you're wanting penetration or you're needing speed or whatever the case may be, it's tunable. As far as I know, it's the only crossbow on the market that is tunable.
Now, also, y'all have a Trigger Tech trigger in here, which is phenomenal. I've shot a few crossbows in my day. By far the best trigger I've ever shot. The Trigger Tech triggers, they put those, in a bunch of long-range rifles.
Correct.
They're a phenomenal trigger, and that's, I think, a huge selling point for this crossbow.
Yeah, it's a 2-pound trigger, no creep, no travel. It's crisp. If you're coming from shooting other crossbows, when you get this bow, when you put finger trigger pressure on the trigger, it surprises you because it goes off.
It did. No, that's what happened to me. I shot it and I was like, oh, wait for it, because you said there's no creep. I'm like, okay, I've heard that before. And I got on there and I was like, just wait, and it just broke and it just caught me off guard because I was not ready for that.
Right.
So, and you said it's a 2.5 pound trigger.
2.1 pounds is what we have in the catalog. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, that's also the lightest trigger on a crossbow.
Yeah,
that's out.
Well, another thing to talk about is the back of the crossbow. You're looking at the stock. Y'all had a model in the past with this where you had adjustable stock on this. This is a fixed position stock, but you have an adjustable cheek wheel, correct?
Correct. It's the whole bow is made in-house. The only thing that we don't do in-house is, of course, the limbs and the strings and the trigger tech box. Everything else we do in-house. The bow is totally made in America, 100%. We do the cheek piece. We manufacture the cheek piece up and down, the buttstock, the whole 9 yards. Everything is done in. The whole bow is built in America.
Exactly. Now, talk to us real briefly on the durability of this. I mean, you were telling us you have one crossbow you've shot quite a few times.
I've got a bow that I've shot in all the ASA tournaments last year. I've got over 15,000 shots out of that one crossbow, and I've had 0 warranty issues, no limb issues. The only thing that I've done to that crossbow is change the string 3 times.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm still shooting the bow. I'll be shooting the bow at Vegas in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Plan on shooting all the ASAs with it this upcoming year, and I haven't had and don't plan on having any issues with it.
Oh no, I think it's fantastic.
Very, very dependable bow.
And I think the way y'all design these, I was looking, we just did a review on, some of the bows. It's how hardy they are, the design. That 2-wall design. Now, is this cast? Is this milled?
No, it's milled.
It's 100% milled.
This is one sheet of aluminum, and it's put into a CNC machine, and it's cut out.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. Well, I think people heard us enough of us talking. How about we shoot it a few times and see? I would love for you to, show us briefly on, how easy it is to cock it and just get a couple shots in, because I've been impressed so far.
Not a problem. Like I say, it's a 125-pound bow that you can cock off your chest by hand with no issues.
Hey guys, you can't see Andrew's face right now, but he is like dumbfounded. It is quiet. See, I noticed it the second time. The first time I really wasn't paying attention to it, but it is ridiculously quiet. Now, with it being that quiet compared to a lot of the crossbows, what do you think? What's the reasoning behind that? You think it's just the limb design and cams?
It does have a lot to do with that. We also have this limb shield that we put on all of our bows. It's a rubberized heat shrink that we developed that helps with the durability of the limb, plus it takes some of the vibration. It does have a little bit to do with the cams. The poundage has something to do with it. We're shooting a 350 spine arrow, so it's not the heaviest that we were talking about earlier, and it's still quiet.
So it can be even quieter.
It can be even quieter. Yes. You put more bow jacks, limb savers, whatever you want on the bow, and quieten it down more and shoot a heavier arrow around a 500, 600 grain arrow, it's going to be quieter.
That's fantastic. Well, I'd love to draw it one time and try to get a good feel for it myself. Now, I'm not going to do it off the chest. I'm going to do it off the ground, just for the first time, and kind of get a feel for how it is. Oh, you could totally do that for chest.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
It makes me look stronger than I really am.
But that it's just sleek. Now, for somebody that's looking to purchase or just be interested in finding this product, in your opinion, what would this be a good fit for? Would this be a good fit for someone shooting like you do in tournaments? Would this make for a good hunting bow, a good in between? What's your thoughts on it?
It's just an all-around bow. I mean, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is shootability, reliability, and durability. So the person that's going to hunt 2 weeks out of the year, the person that's going to go travel the country like I do, shooting competitions, it's just an all-around bow. It's a quality bow that's going to last a long time.